What's up, man?
Good evening. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. How about you?
Very good. How about yourself?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
That's good. What do
How's
you
it
think the
going,
first
man?
question I'll ask you is? What do you think the first question will be?
What do I think the first question will be? Um, I guess you'll probably ask how's everything going with the COVID and everything.
Yeah, that's the first question. How is it?
It's going good, man. I'm up here in North Carolina. Um, that's where we are, Asheville, North Carolina. So it's just getting toward. We're trying to open back up. Our governor's still kind of wacky, so we're trying to put as much pressure as we can on him so we can get everything back going like it should be.
Yeah, it's not very good times, is it? Not normal times.
It's not normal times. It is not. That's not what it is.
No, it's not. How did you get into the urban exploring?
Say what now?
How did you go into exploring? How did you go into it?
Okay, so there's three of us. There's Eric, which is the older guy. There's John, which is the younger guy. He's the with the long hair. And then there's me, Corey, which is the C. So what you would call him, Eric, he's always been into it ever since he was younger and whatnot. He has been into urban stuff. He's been into abandoned buildings, abandoned houses. So he would go into these places and when bring the kids with him. So we one day he said, "Hey, you want to go explore this place?" We took the camera with us and we said, "Hey, this would be a great idea for a YouTube channel. I mean, people would be interested in it." So yeah, that's pretty much where it started. We did our first exploration. We went to this kind of homeless encampment area. It was abandoned. It was real cool, and we got a great interaction. We walked up on the guy. He didn't see us, and we kind of scared him a little bit. So it was like, this is great. So he uploaded it. The first video didn't do bad at all. Got like 700 views. So we were like, okay, this isn't bad. So we said we need to continue to do this. So that's how we started, and we've been just going hard ever since.
Isn't it quite nervous? Do you find it nervous when you first explore, or have you grown into being
So
being confident?
So yeah, one of at first it was very nerve wracking. It still is sometimes at nighttime. It can get real nerve wracking. We've done a couple night ones. Though there's one that I was actually very freaked out in. I don't know if you've seen that one, but we went to this kind of mansion place. We called it a mansion at midnight, and there was a vulture that lived in this house. And this house is just weird. It smelled horrible. But it was in the middle of the woods. We had to go through like tall grass to get there. It was very sketchy, very creepy. Um, it's less scary when you've got on that one. I think we had 5 people with us, so it kind of helps out when you've got that many people with you. Kind of takes that fear down. But it can definitely get creepy. One of our big sayings that we say is, "We do this so you guys don't have to." What that means is, it's dangerous. We don't know what's gonna happen when we go on these explorations. There could be somebody living in these abandoned houses. There could be somebody with a knife. There could be, you don't know. You might step on a needle. There's all kind of dangerous things that go on. You never know what's gonna happen. That's why that's what people want to see, though. People want to see stuff that they wouldn't do. So that's where the idea came from.
Yeah. What sort of explorers do you have upcoming?
What sports do we have coming up? So we've kind of explored a lot of our area as far as Asheville, kind of Western North Carolina area. We've explored a lot around here. Um, the exploration is around here. Now there's some places where you can find a lot, but around here, it's just they tear things down so quickly. There'll be something that'll go out of business, and it immediately is torn down. They're building something else, so it's kind of difficult to find places around here. So we're trying to branch out a little bit more. We're starting to do food reviews kind of thing. We're still on the abandoned thing. We're still doing that, but we're also exploring in our area. There's a heavy amounts of homelessness. So we're starting to tap into the homeless a little bit more. That's I wouldn't say it's our main focus, but it's definitely more of the quantity. We post a lot of homeless now because it's everywhere. So we're exploring that and seeing why are people homeless. And we're on this series right now where we're trying to figure out, because in our area, there's speculations that there are people out here who they're not homeless. They're just they're literally on the side of the road as a job. They're getting money and then they're going to get in their cars and they're going home. Now, We're gonna try to find those people, bust them, show people what they're doing, so they won't do it anymore. That is that. If you know, that can be dangerous. If you try to approach somebody who you don't know what they might do. So that's dangerous also. But that's what we're looking at now. And then there's some abandoned stuff in Tennessee that we're looking at. And just kind of branch away from Asheville because we've kind of done everything around this area. So just kind of expanding out, moving out towards more mountainous areas, Tennessee, South Carolina, stuff like that.
Have any of the places you visited gone wrong?
Um, let's see. We've had a couple things happen. One, we went in. It was behind this church. There was a abandoned house back there. We go back there and we're walking up, and there's a guy there, and he's like, "What are you doing? This is my house." And we're like, "This house is abandoned." In our minds, we didn't say this, but in our minds, we're thinking, "This house is abandoned. This doesn't belong to anybody." But we were able to kind of talk him down, calm him down, and say, "Listen, we're just explorers, and we're just pretty much just trying to explore this area back here. We didn't know anybody was living back here. Do you mind if we film it?" He said, "You can film the back part. I don't want you to film in my house though." Which I mean, technically, it's not really his house. He's what do you call it? A squatter. What that means, he's just staying there. It's not his house. But he said, "I'd rather you not do that." Well, we filmed around that area. So I guess it. Kind of didn't go how we wanted. We've had a couple police interactions. We went one of our most recent videos. We went to this prison, and the cops showed up in minutes, like maybe 2 minutes. The cops were there, and we could have got first degree trespassing because that prison was actually, we didn't know it. It's abandoned, but it's still in use. There's inmates still in the back of it that use it for laundry and use it for different cleaning things. So that was a big deal. And he said, I could give you first degree trespass. I'm not going to. Just don't ever come back here again. Another time we went to a place and the cops pulled up and followed us around. And he said if we had tried to go, if we tried to step on the property, and he was gonna have to, So a lot of things are dealing with trespassing. Because technically, anytime you go into an abandoned building, somebody owns the area, somebody owns that land, somebody owns that space. So anytime you explore, you are trespassing. So that is one of the big things. It's the trespassing thing. Now, one time we had to take a video down because I don't know if anybody out here who's watching would know Sealy's Castle in Asheville. It's a big castle. It's a huge urban legend behind it. So the thing with this castle is they say that devil worship goes on there. They say that sacrifices go on there in the dungeons. They say a bunch of sketchy stuff goes there. It's haunted, all this and this and that. So one day we get a call that the gate's wide open. For some reason, the gate's wide open. So we go there, and we didn't go inside the mansion, but we kind of got up to the house and recorded it. And then they had these dogs around that started barking. So we left. But we posted the video. And soon after we posted it, we got contacted by authorities saying that you trespassed. We want you to take the video down. We don't want you to erase it from all social media. And if you don't, then you will be charged with trespassing, and we will they will file a lawsuit against you. Like, it was actually real legit. They had lawyers ready to sue us and all this kind of stuff. So we to keep our channel going, we took the video down. We're thinking about going back and filming from across the street. If we do that, there's nothing they can say to us, So we're thinking about going back and doing that. But I'd say besides that, not really. We've been blessed to not have any kind of crazy things happen.
How do you find these places? Do you have an insider, or do you know specialist ways of finding these places?
So which is Eric, I give him a lot of credit for this. A lot of the things he does is he's been around. He's seen these places. He knows a lot of abandoned stuff, and it's just we drive around. A lot of times we drive around and see them, and a lot of times there's communities in the area, like on Reddit, like little side Reddits, who shared areas that are abandoned. So these different communities, we speak to each other to figure out different places. And then finds them through Google Earth. Sometimes he'll look around, and if you look on Google Earth, if you look up, if you can see it, you can see an area that's abandoned. It'll have a certain look to it. So he's just good at that, and he looks at that, and we find him. And yeah, it's just a lot of that. You just got to look for it.
So you look around your area via Google Earth.
Google Earth, driving around, seeing something. If I'm driving down the road and I look over and I see, when you're abandoned, when you're an urban explorer, your eye catches certain things. So if I'm driving and I see a certain look, I'm gonna look over and be like, that's definitely abandoned. So driving down the road, seeing stuff, Google Earth, and then like I said, these communities that are in the area that communicate with each other about cool spots.
Aren't
And
you worried about the paparazzi, though? Aren't you worried about people who could be looking ahead and seeing you film this building, which could look quite dodgy to some people? Aren't you worried about what the members of the public might think about that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. With us, we're doing what we love to do. As long as we're not hurting anybody or bothering anybody or going to somebody's, we always respect people. So if somebody, let's say because this happened one time, we were going to go into a abandoned house, and this guy across the street says, "Hey, what are you doing? This is so and so's property. You can't go on there." So we called and talked to him. He said, he was real nice, and he said, "I'd rather you not go in there just so if you get hurt." So if somebody tells us to leave, we respect that and leave. But as far as like uh paparazzi or bad press, I don't think so, because I feel like we're doing a service to people. People are interested in these abandoned stuff. People are interested in the history of our city. People want to know what was before them. If
Yeah.
all we see is these buildings that are fancy and have all the bells and whistles, we don't know where we came from. So I feel like that history is really important. So I feel like we're doing a service. So really, no, I don't. We don't really care about that.
In your, in your explores, then, has the property's been damaged? Since you got it on film, have there been any significant damage where you couldn't really go back to those places?
As far as, what do you mean by as far as damage? Like property
Well,
wise?
any vandalism, like any, too bad of vandalism prior to your visit or prior to your second visit.
So we have rules that we put on ourselves. No forced entry. That means if the place is locked, we're not going to go sawing doors off. That's we don't do that. So no forced entry. If the door is unlocked, then we'll probably go in. If there's an open window or another opening in the wall or something, we'll go in through there. But we don't do any forced entry, any vandalism kind of thing. If somebody's already been there and they vandalized it and they broke the door down and did something, then we'll take advantage of that and go in there. But we're personally not into the vandalism. We don't. If it's locked and we can't get in, then we can't get in. We'll just film the outside, talk about it as much as we can, just look at the history and move on. But as far as vandalism, we don't do any of that. Now, one time we were at a exploration with another explorer, Exploration Unknown. Have you heard of him?
Explorer Unknown.
Exploration Unknown.
No, I don't.
He's got about 300,000 subscribers, so he's pretty big. We were exploring with him a building over where we are, and we were exploring there, and there happened to be some other explorers, or I wouldn't call them explorers. They were more troublemakers. These teenagers came in while we were there, and they broke out glass. They started doing vandalism. So we filmed what we could and got out of there because we knew if there's vandalism and the cops show up and we're there, they're going to say we did it. It's not going to matter what we say. So these teenagers started vandalizing stuff. So we said, "Hey, we need to get out of here," because we saw a car pull up, and we saw her on the phone. She's probably calling the cops. So we got out of there. As soon as we get out of the fence and get in the parking lot, 2 cop cars pull up, and like with flashlights on, looking down where we were. So we got very, very lucky right there. We could have been arrested right there. If we had been there 5-10 more minutes, we would have been arrested, and we would have been probably charged with breaking and entering and all that because of those kids making too much noise. A lot of these things are stealth. You got to be quiet. You can't go in there making a bunch of noise, as people are going to see you and call the cops.
That's got to be the most frustrating part then, doing the Urban Explorer, where you're at, because you don't get the sort of luxury of having rights like we do in the UK.
Right.
So it's kind of different, isn't it, in that sort of field and what you do?
Yeah,
Have, it
100%.
been, have you made it a lot? Has it been a lot harder, or has it been made a lot harder to pursue the urban exploring, or have you just got used to the ways of doing so?
Yeah, we've kind of gotten used to it. It just kind of comes with the business, I guess, of exploring. There's always going to be risk. There's always going to be the possibility of getting arrested. There's always going to be the possibility of the cops being called. There's always going to be that possibility. So it just kind of comes with the territory, with the job, with the whatever you call it. It just comes with it.
Yeah. So in your urban exploration, have you wanted to go further afield than your area, or is that something that is going to be upcoming?
Yeah, so that's what's upcoming. We're going to be branching out more. Like I said, going to Tennessee, South Carolina, um, even places in North Carolina we haven't been. So yeah, that's what's up. We gotta branch out.
Well, that's the best way to success.
Right, right. It is.
Do you make any photographs then when you're on expeditions?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you look for in those photographs?
Um, Sometimes pictures can be better than video as far as capturing uh the aura of the place. When you get a good picture of a place, you got to get the feel of what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely pictures are awesome.
How often do you upload?
We are
How often do you get a video out?
the goal is once a week, every Wednesday. We usually post every Wednesday. It doesn't always happen. John, the other guy, he works a lot now, and he doesn't really have a lot of time. And sometimes we don't get it out every time, but the goal is every Wednesday.
Is your exploration something that you want to do full time?
It is something we would want to if we got enough. As you know, I can't just up and quit my job because I got this YouTube channel. I still got to work. I still got to do things to provide. If I got it to a point to where I'm fully committed, that is the end goal. Would be to go full time exploring. It's just we gotta get there first, I guess. Right?
Yeah, you gotta make it till you make it.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think of the newfound trendiness of the urbex? Does it, affect the way you think about or conduct the practice because of the glowing trend of it is?
Say that one more time.
What do you think of the newfound trendiness of the urbex of people doing it? Do you find that
Right.
other teams are not doing it in the correct way, or do you find that you're doing it better than some other teams? What's your view?
Well, everybody has their style. Um, there's Exploring with Josh. He's probably the biggest one. Everybody's heard of him. Exploring with Josh. There's there, we don't have the most, I guess you would say, most expensive equipment as far as camera work, mics, audio, all that. I mean, we make do with what we got. I do like I think we have more of a natural feel than some of these places. Some of the places, it feels a little scripted. We've looked at other videos and some of it feels a little scripted. It feels like you're watching a movie or something, which is cool. I feel like we have more of a natural feel to us, which I think they like. I think that the audience likes that, have that more natural feel. So I would say I do like our style a little bit better, but I'm biased saying that because it's us. But I do like the natural feel that we give to our subscribers.
Here's a good question for you. What's your
Right.
favorite explorations at the moment? What's your favorite?
My favorite one that we've done.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Definitely the best one was the one at midnight. Um, I think it's Exploring Abandoned Mansion at Midnight or something like that. What we named it. It was fun. It was scary. Um, it's something I'll never forget. I'll never forget that experience. Just being there with my family, my friends, scared out of our wits, not knowing what's gonna happen next. It's that adrenaline rush that you feel. You can't replace it with anything else. It's definitely my favorite one. It's my favorite one to watch. It's the most entertaining, the most fun. Some of them can be kind of boring. I mean, I'm interested in it, so it's not boring to me. But some of them can be more, just kind of here's a place that. But that was actually action packed from beginning to end. So that's definitely my favorite one that we've done.
What advice would you give then to people who want to start off explorations, but they don't know how to do it. What sort of advice would you give to get them going?
To get started, I would say make sure you're passionate about it. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for views. Don't do it for subscribers. Don't do it for that. Do it because you love to do it. If you're doing what you love to do, the people are going to see it and they're going to know it. If you're doing it as a job or as something like that, then it's not going to feel the same. You're going to see it's going to be forced. So do it because you love to do it. Don't do it because it's a trendy and you're going to get views and money. Do it because you love it, because if you don't love it, it's going to show.
What advice then would you give to people who might have visited or other teams have visited that same location? Is it wise to go to locations that's been visited many times before? Do you think they should find new original locations? What's your view on that?
Now that's actually a really good question. That's a problem that is in our community. We kind of overlap each other sometimes. Like we'll do exploration that somebody's already done. Somebody will do exploration that we've already done. It was travel. I think it's Travels Together. Just did an exploration where we had just went, and it kind of feels like, oh, come on, they're going to our spot. But then at the same time, it's like, well, that's not really our spot because somebody has been there before us, obviously. Whether they posted it on YouTube or whether they didn't, somebody's been there before. Everywhere you've been, somebody's likely been before. So I guess that can be something where you don't step on each other's toes. I think everybody has if everybody has the same audience, then it can get redundant. But if they have different audiences, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's hard to avoid. I mean, there's not to get completely to get a complete original place is going to be real difficult.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult, but I just had to ask though, because you're an explorer yourself. Do you find finding new original and film places the better way to go if you wanted to branch out into the explorational field?
Yeah, that's ideal. Ideally, yes. The problem is a lot of these places have been visited. So do what you can, but yeah, ideally, yeah, you want to find something that nobody's been to. That's going to be the best.
What resources would you recommend then to those who wants to search out the abandoned places? Is there anything on the internet that would actually help them? Because a lot of these sites on the internet, they say they're abandoned, but they transform into new buildings. What's your view?
So yeah, internet. I Google it. What we did, we type in. It depends, but we'll just type in sometimes if we can't find a place. There's a website. I don't remember what the name of it is at the moment, where you can select a zip code and it's a kit like the community marked, like it'll be marked. It'll have the coordinates where you can go and some of them will be like maybe it was done 3 years ago, so that's torn down into something else now, but that's just a risk you take. So go scope it out, see if it's still there. If it is, then you got a video. If not, then find the next one. Go on to the next one.
Yeah, because a lot of the times the internet, they don't provide accuracy, do they? So I'm thinking, because the explorers that I interview, it's good to ask that, because you're helping the new ones into it.
It's hit or miss. It just hit or miss. It depends where you are, but some of us is random. You go to a spot and there's nothing there. That can happen, and then it's just hit or miss. Sometimes you'll find some of the best places through that. So it's hit or miss. The best thing is to explore yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you going to consider getting a website of some description where people can maybe get advice or something that would help them if they want to start off in the explorations? Or would you consider getting a site so then people know a bit more of your background as a team?
Yeah, we're working on something right now that will kind of show more our personal selves, get to know us more on a personal level. Tips on exploration, tips on wearing the right footwear, wearing because a lot of these places have asbestos. I don't know if you've heard of that. Wearing the right equipment for that, making sure you're not breathing in some old dust that's going to cause you problems later on. So that kind of thing. Get more of a personal level. We're working on that right now.
Will you do any merchandise?
At the moment, No, we're still trying to just grow right now. Eventually, absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
You just gotta put the time and the effort in because if you want to grow on YouTube, it's like a plant seed. If you don't give it enough seed, it doesn't grow enough. So
Well,
accuracy and
I haven't.
timetable uploads is key.
Yeah. The most important thing is consistency, which is something I'll just be honest. We're working on right now is being more consistent. Not missing Wednesdays is big. If you miss 2 Wednesdays in a row, then you know that next video is not going to hit as good. When you're
No,
consistently posting, it's going to start gaining more traction. If you miss a week, you got to just know that hey, you're going to have to make it up because if you miss a week, the next video is not going to do as good. So it's just about consistency is the biggest thing on YouTube.
do you host any live streams? That's a good question to ask any urban explorer because would you want to have that privilege to live stream at that place so people get to see it in real time?
Yeah. Um. That's definitely something that once we hit that, we will look into. Um. I wouldn't really for the exploration. I wouldn't really look for live streams just because some of the big things about making the video cool is adding effects to it and making it how you want it. If you
Yeah,
film like
true.
live and raw, I feel like it would lose some of that. Adding music, adding jump scares, adding all that in there makes I think that makes it better. Gives it a
Yeah,
better feel. You can control
it does.
more. Yeah,
That's the last though, because you don't have to really do a live stream at a site. You could just do a live Q&A. I'm just thinking,
yeah,
you gotta have that interaction some stages because it's just a video collections. You can't really interact with the viewers as if you were with a live showing. That's why
right.
any media distributional sites always have that option, e.g., Facebook and Instagram, etc.
Exactly. I feel you. Um, yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with that. I think when you want the interaction, a lot of times Premiere, how you Premiere video,
Yeah,
watching the video together with the person, I think that can offer that same interaction where you're watching it together. They can ask questions and you answer it live. So
yeah,
Premiere is
that is the same balance. Yeah, that is
yeah,
good.
doing
Yeah.
Premiere I feel like is a good alternate to doing that.
Do you think YouTube then is a good way to get noticed? Have there been any sites that you had a look at before you joined YouTube, or because you know YouTube is so widely known and common, you just
Yeah,
thought let's get
I'm
noticed?
always I'm always gonna keep an eye out for other platforms that may arise. I feel like I kind of missed the boat. I feel like if we had caught it earlier, I think TikTok would have been a huge thing to do little like clips and then merge that over to the YouTube. But when you miss the boat on some of these things and it gets oversaturated, you know, you just kind of got to do what you got to do. You got to separate yourself from the pack.
You got that privilege on Instagram as well. It's called the Reels. I never use it myself,
Yeah,
but that's also like a TikTok sort of thing as well.
right.
The thing is, with the media marketing, they're always trying to outbeat their competitors. But
Right.
99.9% of the time is it's not going to work because users like me and you would choose TikTok. I would probably choose Instagram. I would actually choose TikTok personally. But
Mhm.
we always got different views and opinion of what we would use. But
Right.
these media marketers always try to outrun them. But it doesn't work, does it? I mean, it doesn't work to the result that the media marketers want compared to us who want to use it.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. You're on point with that.
I've
Um,
podcast before then. And this has been the first podcast you ever been on.
this is our first podcast. Absolutely. So
The media
yeah, you
adventure.
got it. See what?
Do you like being on a podcast?
I like it a lot. I've thought about doing podcasts myself. So yeah, I love podcasts. They're awesome.
Have you ever wanted to do live streams then where you interview urban explorers? Because I'm one myself. I haven't uploaded many videos because we're in a level 4 lockdown here at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully next month that allows me to record because at the moment podcast is the only thing that's keeping me afloat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's
Uh,
getting it noticed on the channel.
I do want to say this. This is relating to the explorations and um, it's kind of controversial. I feel like one of the reasons that we separate ourselves from people who do explorations and things like the paranormal, as you see, there's a crossover between abandoned stuff and paranormal. We'll do paranormal. What we won't do is fake paranormal. So there are some channels. I'm not gonna say any names, but
You give us a hint if you want. We won't suss it out. A hint is meaningfulness.
yeah. So like I said, pulling chairs with a string, doing stuff like that. That's not the stuff we're into. So I feel like the
I want to know how
paranormal.
they could do that. I want to know how they can pretend that they caught a really good urbex footage when, if you just look up the camera pane or if you really look into it, you can think, well, that's a bit suspect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
I
think
don't
that's
know how
another.
they can get away with it because you just couldn't get away with that unless they were very cautious in what to cut out of the actual original footage.
That's what they do. They cut out, they add effects, they do stuff like that, to make it seem real. But I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Thing is, I don't mind people who amplifies the scenery because it's an urban and without that sort of chemistry in the video, you're not gonna get anything. It's like watching through like a picture book. You're just going through the pictures of it. But you don't really want to overdo it either because then if you overdo it, 99.9% of the viewers will probably switch off. I mean, it's like playing if you want to play like a rock band in the start of your intros and have it going for like 2 or 3 minutes long. It gets to that stage where viewers thinking, are we watching something called Queen or are we watching history? You don't want to get the viewers thinking that we're watching something totally different.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's why
Yeah.
I think you asked earlier. Do I think that um we're the I mean I don't know if you said we're our favorite or we're the best, but I do like what we do as far as keeping it a natural feel to it. So we're keeping that the natural feel, and also being able to control add effects where we think is needed without going over the top with that
That is
and
that
making
is
it a movie.
that's the icing to the cake. You get the viewers interacted, but don't prolong it.
Yeah, we're
If
not
you
trying to make
you
a
want to
paranormal
go
activity
dun
for
dun dun
product.
for 2 or 3 minutes because then that just exasperates it.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you done any collaborations then? Is there any collaborations upcoming? Or don't you know of any at the moment?
Yeah, we've done a collaboration, like I said, with Exploration Unknown. And we're working on another collaboration right now. We're just with COVID, it's kind of hard to do a bunch of collabs. Um, but we've done one with Exploration Unknown. We've got some more collaborations coming up with him again. So that's I think that's have we done any more besides him? His friend, I'm forgetting his name right now. We've done a collaboration with him too. I think his name was Tim. But we've done one with him and one with Exploration Unknown. So that's
Have you had
also
your
fun.
COVID injection as well? May I ask? Have you had your COVID injection?
I've not had. Are you talking about the vaccine?
Yeah, the vaccine.
Have not gotten one and will not be getting one. So
You won't be getting. You won't be getting it.
will not be getting it. I am not down for that. Absolutely not.
Why is that?
A lot of personal opinions, I guess, based on that.
Oh, so you're against it personally. You're not. You ain't qualified for it. Or you wasn't qualified to get it. So it's a more of a personal opinion why you're not getting it then.
Yeah, personal opinion, and I feel like our bodies. God made us. He made our bodies wonderful. We've got our own natural vaccine, I guess you would say, our immune system, and so I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna trust that for now until maybe a year, 2, 3 years down the
But
road, and the vaccine
don't you
improves.
wonder that you're playing Monopoly with your body? I mean, it's almost as you want it to be critical. You could
Yeah,
have one off jab in your arm, and then you're safe. Rather than the hell with it, I'm just gonna stroll past my city and float the boat. You know what I mean? It's almost you want to play Monopoly with your own health, isn't it? But that's your
yeah.
own personal opinion. I
I
mean.
think it's all perspective. It's perspective because somebody may look at taking the vaccine as playing Monopoly because you do, it's just kind of like there are people that have died from it. Not, there are those. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I feel like it's more playing Monopoly to This is vaccines take 8 years to develop most of the time. 8 to years to get developed. This thing is coming out in less than a year. We're being honest, it's been about 6 months since they've had this vaccine working on it. Why am I going to put something in my arm that they're working on 6 months when it usually takes them 10 years to get it perfected?
I guess it's because they had to. Well, they had to rush it, otherwise there would be more COVID infections.
Yeah.
But I just
Well,
like I said to anyone who's got doubts about it, it would have to be qualified. It would have to be registered as safe. I mean, if it wasn't safe, it wouldn't pass the medical officials. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking to a big conspiracy theorist here with me. So yeah. So you're gonna go down the wrong hole. We keep on this subject. We're gonna end up talking about something. Yeah. You're talking to a big conspiracy theorist. So if you want to go down that road, we can. But I know it's gonna take you down a dodgy road. So I don't know if you want to go there on here, but
I'm just saying, though. I mean, it is fine. It is your personal view. I mean,
nowadays, conspiracy is fact. The smartest people are conspiracy theorists. That's the fact now. No longer conspiracy.
I don't want to, discard your view or anything like that. But if you believe the theories, isn't it going to prevent you from doing something that might actually, keep you safe? In other words, or are you just going to?
So everything's a theory. Everything's a theory. Everything's a theory. Everything. There's a theory of gravity. There's a theory of geocentrical movement of the Earth. There's the theory of everything. Everything's a theory. Nothing. There's some things that are more proven in fact than others, but for the most part, everything's theory. It's just about choosing what you want to believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's just good to ask you. I mean, I ask every guest about it, whether you take it or not. I mean, if you're against it personally, then that's your view. But what I don't want as a person myself is you not to take the vaccine, but then you put yourself at risk. I don't want any creators I interview putting themselves in risk where not needed. You know what I mean? Because it can be quite.
Well, if I'm so worried about risk, I wouldn't be doing urban exploration. I just have to stay safe. It's a real, like I said, I wouldn't be going in abandoned buildings and doing that if I was really worried about, risk. I'm more worried about living life and enjoying life and, having that kind of thing.
Yeah, but you just got to be mindful. I mean, you do there's the disease and everything. If you actually are against it on a personal level, then that's your view on that matter. But just if you're doing the urban exploring and you are with friends or anything like that, just be mindful because we don't want you to have the virus and be ill for 14 days and be critically ill as well. Just keep in mind. You know what I mean?
I understand. It's a normal fear to have. I'm just not I'm not into the fear thing. I'm not into listening to. I mean, honestly, I've gotten to the point where I just want to live my life and enjoy it. And
you can't do. What's your first name?
Corey.
You can't do Corey, but just don't put yourself at any risk, because then you won't have a life. That's what I mean.
I'd rather die. Let me say this. I'd rather die at 45 because I jumped out of an airplane skydiving and my parachute didn't work and I hit the ground, to die when I'm 90 from cancer. I'd rather have 45 good years and had fun and I died because my parachute didn't work than to die of old age or of cancer and live the real boring life. I think that's one of the best ways to go. If I jumped out of a plane and my parachute didn't work, and I'm like, well, that's it. I had a good time. Like, I'm hitting the ground.
You're a person who takes on that risk.
Yeah, definitely risk taker. Yep.
Well, that is a proud skill to have on any level. I mean, if you're a risk taker in every situation, and that is good. That is a good thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, you're talking to somebody who went into a homeless encampment where who knows what was in there. You know, the normal person's not going to do that. If I asked, a random person on the street, hey, you want to go up in this homeless encampment where they're doing heroin and shooting up needles? You want to go in there? They're going to be like, yeah, nah, I'm not going up in there. So you're talking to somebody who does this, you know?
Uh, you know, so you got very good high confidence. You know, you got really good high confidence.
Yep.
You're not really afraid in any circumstances because you're just thinking, oh, it's only a building, or it's only this, or it's only that. But you're right in there getting stuck into it, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that goal, that achievement, because it does take a lot of courage, and I think you built that over time, or built in some other areas that you just took on with it.
Yep.
Have you wanted to go to different countries then to your exploration?
Yeah, that's a big goal that we have, is to branch out global. That's like the end goal. If we can get and grind our subscribers up to a certain point, because I mean right now we just can't afford to do that. But if we can get our channel to the point to where we're able to do stuff like that, that's the goal. Go global. Travel the world, exploring places. That would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Would you set like a donation page so people can donate to you on a personal level?
Not yet. There's a number in my mind of I guess the subscribers that we reached when I'm gonna kind of turn that way. But as of yet, nah, we're still, I think we're around 300 around 300 or so subscribers. So until we hit a certain number that's in my mind where we can't even start monetization right now, you know. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to even to do monetization. So we're not even at that point yet.
So say for instance you reach 500, what can the viewers expect to see? Because every or halfway is the milestone, and you got to make sure that you're letting the viewers know that we hit 500 or we do a giveaway, or so, you just got to get them involved in it because they helped you along that process.
Yeah, we did it with 100. When we hit 100, we did it. The next time is when we hit 500. When we close, we're gonna do it. I think after 500, it'll probably be 1,000, and then 5,000, and then so on. So
it's going to be every 5,000.
Yeah, we'll probably do 5,000 and 10,000, maybe 15, then 20. I think from 20 to from 20 to 50,000. Probably gonna go because once you get around there, it speeds up. It seems like 50, then 100, then 200, 300, and then a million. However it goes. Sky's the limit.
How did the name come out about that? How did you find out about the name? How did it circulate?
The Ejc
Explorations. That's quite a good name. I do like that.
Yeah, E is Eric, the older guy. J is John, the younger guy. C, me, Corey, the last one. So that's EJC and then Exploration. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yep. Did you just find that? Did you just make that up one day, or did it take a couple of days to figure that out?
Yeah, we were like, we gotta get a name for this channel. What are we gonna do? We thought about doing Exploration Unknown, and then we saw that somebody already had that name. We thought about doing because we always knew we weren't gonna just be specific abandoned, so we didn't want to put the name abandoned in there. Like abandoned something, because we knew we weren't gonna do just strictly abandoned stuff. We're gonna be exploring all kinds of things. So we wanted.
So do you do paranormal as well then? Would you do paranormal at some stage if it's not exactly associated with the urban explorations?
Yeah, we'll do paranormal. Absolutely, we'll do paranormal. We'll do abandoned. We're doing homeless exploration. We're doing because of the pandemic, a lot of these owned businesses, locally owned businesses are struggling. So we're doing exploration on those to try to get them exposure, so they get more customers. So they don't have to shut their doors. So we're just doing all that kind of thing, different things. We're not just doing one abandoned, because the abandoned space, it can be a little bit saturated. It can be a little overcrowded. Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to just do more than just exploration. So we thought we don't want to do just abandoned. So I think that's where we went to EJC Exploration after that.
What's your view then on people making fake content? Now that I know you do paranormal stuff as well, because when I looked through it, I didn't think you do the paranormal side, but now that you actually mentioned that you do it at some stage anyway, not often. But what's your opinion on people making that fake content then?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't like it at all. It's disingenuous. It's stupid in my opinion. But I can't hate it too bad. I mean, do
You
what you
see it
want
more
to
of
do.
entertainment, don't you? I mean, it's like more of an entertainment and it's more of a serious one.
Yeah, like I said, I personally don't like the fakeness of it. I would never be involved in something like that. If somebody wants to do a fake thing, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you can do it, but I just won't be there. I'm not
With
gonna be
your
involved.
risk taker there, Corey, it's
Say
going to be
what?
true all the way. You're not going to fake nothing on yours because you're a
No,
risk taker.
nothing you see
So,
from us is gonna be fake. We might
yeah,
clickbait you every once in a while, but nothing's gonna be fake that we film.
clickbait. Yeah, that's the growing trend in getting the views. I've noticed, and a lot of people do that.
Hmm.
Um, so why should anyone support you then on your journeys? What would be the reasons behind it? Um, yeah, your view.
If you enjoy our content, then just tag along because we got a lot more coming. And we're gonna entertain you. You're gonna be along for the ride. So if you enjoy it, then you're gonna have a great time on our channel, and you're gonna want to stick around. If it's something that doesn't float your boat or that you don't enjoy, then I mean, there's something else on YouTube for you. But not everybody's into abandoned stuff. Not everybody's into homeless stuff. So if it doesn't float your boat, if you're not that interested, then you'll find something that will. But people who are interested will find us. So as
No.
long as we're keeping our fan base and our subscribers happy, then that's what we're gonna focus on is them.
Do you make regular reviews on your channel? I find that's a good way of improving because if you do regular reviews and you think, say for instance, a video prior to last week was trending and the video just now or this week wasn't, do you
Hmm.
find that something isn't really um, not matching up? And do you find what that is? And do you then take the video down or re-upload it and
We don't
try and find
we don't
ways
we don't
to
take
get
it down. Sometimes I'll sometimes play with the title, or if it's not doing it well, I might change the thumbnail or switch up the tags or do something like that. But we don't take them down. If a video doesn't do well in the first, I think how YouTube works. I think YouTube gives you like a 48-hour window, and it responds if it doesn't get a lot of clicks or interest or impressions in those first 48 hours. Then it kind of stays below. If it gets a lot of likes and a lot of interest in the first 48 hours, then it'll show it to more people. If they show interest, then it'll show it to more. I think that's how YouTube's algorithm works. So,
Do you find it increasingly harder then with what YouTube is now compared to 10 years ago? Because if you look at it in the
yeah,
history of YouTube, 2010 is where
yeah,
the program launched to every creator on the platform. Do you
yeah,
find it now the trend to get on top is so hard to do
it
compared
is.
to, I'll say, 15, 10, or whenever YouTube existed?
Yeah, it is. Definitely way harder than when it started. If we had started doing this back in 2007, when we were just doing it for fun, I think we'd be
I
a
think you'd be famous.
lot.
You would be
We'd
a
be
lot
the top of
famous.
we'd be at the top.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
unfortunately, you just didn't catch it when it caught. So, but we're
Yeah.
still, we don't really, like I said, it's not. I mean, we sure we would love a bunch of subscribers. We would love a bunch of all that. But right now, we're just doing it because we enjoy it and we're doing what we love to do. So,
But you
I
want
think
to know,
that's
you want to know that viewers are liking it too, because
right.
if you like as a creator yourself, then of course, you're never going to get that passion up. But you want to see improvements on that journey, because if you're stuck on the same amount of subscribers, say for about 8 or plus months, it's really is going to be a slow starter sort of thing. I mean, it took me about
Yeah,
4 years to get even to 360. I am very patient. I like, I do it for passion. I do it because I like doing it. Um,
yeah,
if I devoted on the subscriber count, though, I probably would have gave up. But
yeah,
you know what I mean. But you
yeah.
just want to know that there is someone that that is liking your views or getting it shared, because even 5 or 10 every 3 or 4 weeks, that's
Yeah.
something in the right direction. Because you don't want to be stuck on the same set for 10 or 15
Yeah,
years. That's
every
not
week
gonna
I've checked. Every week
improve.
I've checked, we've gained 2 or 3 subscribers. So that keeps us going definitely. And I'm learning what the audience wants to see. You gotta learn what your audience. When you post on YouTube, whatever is getting you the most clicks, that's what they want to see. So our subscribers have shown us through what they watch and through what they interact more with. They like homeless. They like homeless stuff. They do. That's so. I mean, we're gonna do what they want to see, what we're getting more, attention for. So we post a homeless video, and it gets. We had a video that went off for 31,000 views. We're gonna do more of the homeless stuff. If we post an abandoned thing and it gets 3 views, then we're not gonna stop doing it because we enjoy abandoned, but we're gonna lean toward more of the homeless or toward more of whatever they're like.
What I would say is this, as a creator myself, I have interviewed an actual YouTube advisor on this as well. You don't want to do 4 or 5 different things on one thing. I mean, having 2 is probably the maximum you could do, because if you do 5 different things or 5 different subjects, it's going to be Ejec's mumbo jumbo, because nobody's going to know what's to come. So if people will say, "Oh, I like that video," I'll support this channel on the way and doing so. Then on the next video, you go, "Wow, I subscribe to sort of this sort of content. Why am I watching this sort of difference?" I understand you've got to accommodate it, but you've got to balance the subjects. You can't do 5 various different things, you see.
Yeah, and so that's why we didn't make our name Abandon something, Abandon whatever, because then we'd be stuck doing just Abandon. And we always knew we are gonna do more than just Abandon things, because it's just. I think at a certain point, it could turn into more of a vlog type channel, where it's like a vlog. You don't know what we're doing the day. You're tagging along for the ride.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, if you're running out of ideas and you want to mix up a bit, that's understandable. But what I would advise is this: if people are new and they scroll through all the backlog of the videos you have done, and they see about 7 or 8 different things, they are going to get confused, because they're going to think, "Well, what subject are you sticking to, and what's in the past?" You know what I mean? Like, I find out from November last year that I'm doing the urban videos, and I'm still doing the paranormal podcast and the Urbex podcast as well. It all goes into the same thing, because it's haunted stuff. So that is the right ring to it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there any question you'd like to ask me then? Any questions at all?
So you said you used to do Urbex abandoned buildings, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I do the urban films. I do the urban videos. I haven't filmed many because of the lockdown, but that is something that's going to be picking up slowly.
Okay, so is it abandoned stuff?
Yeah, abandoned stuff.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
And I do the paranormal podcast and the Urbex podcast as well.
Gotcha.
So it all goes into one thing, because paranormal is classed as urban because you're going into a building and you're doing investigations. Sort of different on balance, but it's the same base. It's still haunted, so it's the same baseline.
Yeah. You got any like family, kids, wife, girlfriend, any of that stuff?
I used to have a girlfriend. I don't know more though.
You don't know more, gotcha.
Being a content creator is the best way to actually do what you want to do.
Right.
And with my time, I just don't think I could squeeze in looking for love in my timetable.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's the first content creator I've ever heard you ask me that, though. That's the first content creator I've ever heard ask me that. For that.
Well, I'm glad we brought something new today. We did something different. That's what we do.
Well, I'm flexible. That's how the podcast comes into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess that's all the questions I have. You got any more questions for me?
Well, what I would say is this: where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, and what can we expect to see on your next video?
Next video is going to be a kind of like exploration of more local type thing. There's a few restaurants in this area that are, because of COVID, they can't, they don't get as much people there. So we're gonna try to help them out and give them some exposure. So that's gonna be what's next. After that, it's probably going to be another abandoned place. There's a place attraction Fun Depot, which closed down. It was like an attraction place that had, it was like an arcade. It had go karts. It had laser tag. It had all of that. It got shut down because of COVID, and so it's completely abandoned now. So we're gonna go look at that. That'll be coming after that, and then you're probably gonna see more homeless stuff come out. We've got a few interviews that we got to do there with the homeless, so you'll probably see some of that coming after that. And yeah, who knows? Just
Do you do any
anybody who's
Have you
watching.
been offered on any podcasts yourself? Then, is there any plans in the pipeline where you're going to be on someone else's show, or is that still a bit out of context?
That's the question again.
Have you been invited on anyone else's shows or upcoming or anything like that?
No, I have not yet. Maybe this will spark somebody else. So anybody out there who wants to talk to me, just hit me up. Ejc Exploration on Instagram. You said I was gonna come in here and we're not gonna plug anything?
How did you spend Christmas last year?
I spent it with E and J. We all were at the we had a Christmas together, all of us. We had some family members over, and yeah, it was great. I don't think it's as locked down over here as it is over there. As far as COVID, we didn't ever. I haven't personally. It hasn't really affected much of my life personally. I still do everything that I did before COVID happened. It hasn't really changed too much. Besides these things,
Well, I'm in South Wales, so
I hate these things right
all
here.
restrictions is hampering my productions. Put it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
Have you had any trolls then? Any people causing you any unwanted grief? That's the sort of thing.
We had some trolls about a month ago, but no longer. I don't know. I guess they got bored. We didn't give them any attention.
Then, because you don't want anything like that hampering your reputation anyway, do
you? The best way to handle trolls is ignore them. If you respond to them and get angry and fire back at them, that's what they want. They want that interaction. So complete ignoring them, they're gonna get mad and leave and go find somebody else to troll.
Do you think that social media though has gone a bit dwindle because of the increase in trolling and the increase in the cyber attacks? I mean, I just find that quite tormental, really. If some people couldn't handle it, like me and you could, for example. So it is quite traumatic if people doesn't really respond to it in the correct manner. Right, well, fire off the cannon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Would you like to come back on the show then? Next, again, we'd like to come back on again.
Yeah, let's schedule to come back because then I can get E to be with me instead of just being me, and we might be able to get John on too. So I have the whole gang, tag along instead of just me.
So are you like the team founder then, the one that created the group back?
I do all the editing. I do all the that kind of thing. I kind of control a lot.
And you're the one that handles the interviews, I guess.
Yeah. I handle all the social media. I handle all the interviews and all of that kind of thing. All the marketing. I do all of that. And E does a lot of the recording with the camera work. He's kind of like the cameraman. John's living the good life. He just gets to explore. He doesn't really have to do much. He's living the good life.
Well, can I book you in May then? How does May sound for you? I think May would be a steel golden for you.
Yeah. If you want to do it before, then either too, we can do that.
Any date in May you're after? Just in case you might be busy. I don't know whether you're free or not.
I'm thinking Monday and Tuesdays are more open days.
So weekends, your open days.
Monday and Tuesdays are better days than Saturdays for everybody because he's got to work.
Something we can negotiate. We will do something. That's 100% guaranteed. We will do something.
Yeah.
So what's your plans for the rest of the day then? What's your name again?
Corey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Pardon. Your name isn't something I can remember. Do beg my pardon.
Gotcha.
So what's your plans for the foreseeable, for the days ahead?
Right now I'm about to go just this arcade, have a good time there, get some good food, and just enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Enjoy the weekend.
Well, it's been an honor to have you on. Before you go, is there Has your shopping gone a lot busier then? Is people in the shopping centres or making it a
Yeah,
lot busier than needed?
yeah, we're pretty much besides these stupid things that are on our face right here, these chin diapers, they besides those, we're pretty well open. I need them to get rid of this mask mandate because it's driving me crazy. But
You gotta have your face mask at the very least to keep you safe.
uh whole other argument there, Tom. But yeah, school,
Don't worry,
schools are pretty,
Corey. We'll talk about the conspiracies probably in the next interview.
okay. Cool.
I know
But
it interests you a lot. I know it does.
yeah. Oh, you have no idea. But the schools are back open. They're back in. Everybody's back in school. It's just these masks we got to get rid of, and then we'll be back to normal.
Is the pubs open where you are then, or is it all closed still?
Yeah, no, everything's open. Everything's open.
Get in there and celebrate because we can't have that luxury yet.
Yeah, everything's open, man. Everything. Art, like, not even. I mean, there's no even limit in like gatherings and that kind of thing. There's no limit there. Just these fake masks or whatever they are.
Well, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience then, Corey? And I thank you for your time. What time is it there currently? Because of the time zone, I never know what time it is in Devon.
It's 5:30 here.
5:30.
Yeah, it is.
9:30. Yeah.
It's what is it? Nighttime there?
Yeah, 9:30 in the PM.
Yeah, like it's a sunny day out here, so I'm about to enjoy the rest of this day.
Like 2:30 here we are. I never noticed the time of day there.
Oh, not yet. Blue skies out here, man. But I guess I would say last thing, everybody who's watching, go subscribe to EJC Exploration. We're gonna have a lot of cool stuff coming your way, a lot of abandoned stuff, some homeless stuff. So if you're interested in that, so tag along. We're gonna be doing a lot coming, and nothing fake. So that's a big thing. Nothing fake.
Make your material. Get loyal fans on board and loyal fans who knows what to expect.
Yep.
The key to the Stardust.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Corey, and I will see you again in May with the rest of your team. Stay safe and don't injure yourself on your explorations. That's one thing that I adjure you not to.
I'll try my best, man.
Have a great one, Corey, and thanks for your time. Have a great day.
You too, man.